Hello, welcome to LOCO Staff Training Night. My name is Jim, and I'm going to show you a few key characteristics of working the front desk. This is going to be all guest-based. I'm not going to touch upon the open table system, reservations, or anything like that. I'm purely going to speak about how to approach a guest. If you're at the host station or you're a server and a guest walks in, you want to gently open the curtain for them. You want to say, "Hi, welcome to LOCO, how are you?" Excellent. Then you can go into points of, would you prefer the lounge or the dining room? And if they say the dining room and they have a reservation, you can obviously go to the reservation book and check them off. However, if they are a walk-in, you must let, if there's a host there, they can take care of it. If it's a service staff member, it's during the week. What you want to do always is seat the guest at the best available table. If you have a reservation coming in at 7 o'clock and it's assigned to a table along the wall, or on the arches here, and that's a better table, you can move that reservation to a center table, because the center tables when the restaurant is empty is not a very it's not a preference of a guest. You have to think at all times, where would you want to sit if you walked into this restaurant? And that's what you have to think the whole way through, and it's all about how you would want it completed for you. So for instance, the best tables in the restaurant are along the perimeter. Specifically the 50s. 53 is known as one of the better tables, 51, 52 as well. Isabel's a nice table for 2, although right now it's set a little higher. The 20s are fantastic tables, but certainly not 21 and 22, as they're near the kitchen door, and then the guests will be subject to the kitchen noise and also the kitchen light. You want to think about when that door opens, how that light shines into their eyes. Lupe is 4 to 6 people. It's a nice table even though it's in the center. And then up top you have your tables across the front, with this table right here not being the most preferred table to start the day. As you hear the phone ringing, the phone should only ring a max of 3 times. We have to do a better job of that. That just happened to be a call that came through. One thing I want to talk about is right now the dining room obviously isn't set. But I've been going through showing you all how to make sure the tables aren't wobbly, make sure the chairs aren't wobbly, make sure the linens are on and they're on correctly, meaning they're not upside down. We also have to make sure that all the the chair pads are clean. We have plenty of chairs, we can swap them out. If they're dirty, we're going to put them aside and let the manager know at the end of the night. Okay, the lighting is set at 2 different levels. First, it's set when we open at a level it's a little bit brighter, and then as the night gets darker outside, the restaurant will get darker inside, but it will illuminate a little bit more and glow. Another thing that you want to look for when you're in the dining room is you want to make sure all the pictures are nice and straight. Along with the pictures being straight, you want to make sure that the curtains aren't bunched up and that they're pulled apart into even levels. So you never want it like this. You always want to pull them aside, and you want to have nice even spacing. If you see a light bulb out, we must change it immediately. A light bulb that is not lit in a restaurant is a sign of a poorly managed and staffed restaurant. That is a lesson I learned from a dear friend of mine many years ago after he screamed at me for not taking care of a light bulb. Don't forget, everyone always forgets the arch walls. Don't forget to light those. Another key point is we have candles. The candles are there to give sort of a sexy mood or make the guest feel a little bit more comfortable. What you have to be careful of is that the candles are sitting at the bottom of the candle holder and they're not sticking above the actual candle. Twofold. Number one, safety. We've had burnt menus. But secondly, there's nothing worse than sitting at a table with the candle not being lit. And if the candle's above the actual candle holder, you're going to run into the issue where any type of wind or movement is going to make that candle go out. So just a few key characteristics to look for when you're in the dining room. But the main focus was when the guest enters. You never want a guest, just as you would not want a guest sitting in your house with nothing to do or not knowing where to go, you don't want them coming into the restaurant. You have to think of the guest as entering your house. And if they enter your house, they need to be greeted immediately. Now, you've greeted the guest, you've done your job. The phone rings, you politely excuse yourself. If you're speaking to someone, you have to answer the phone, otherwise the person on the other end will think we're closed. The second part is when the guests leave. A guest should never leave the restaurant without being told, "Thank you so much, have a great night." It's just very basic. And I really want you, I don't want you to overthink it. I want you to just do exactly what you would want if you went out to a restaurant. And to me, I think that means that you would want to be treated special. You'd want them to know that you were there, and you would want to get the maximum bang for your buck. You would want to feel treated just superbly. The service, the food, everything has to match. Okay, so I'm going to go on to part 2, and thank you very much for looking and listening at this video.